Sparrow is a lowbrow spy film featuring Dominika, played by Jennifer Lawrence, who gets recruited to Sparrow School by her pervy uncle so she can learn to be a sexploiting secret agent in the war between the CIA and the Russian intelligence organization, the SVR.
Let's just get the juicy details out of the way first. This movie can be summed up with 4 words. Jennifer Lawrence, sexy, time. You are gonna see Katniss Everdeen like you've never seen it before. I mean, whew.
Red Sparrow is, for all intents and purposes, an R-rated young adult adoption. It stars the queen of young adult adoptions, Jennifer Lawrence, and is also directed by Hunger Games alum Frances Lawrence.
In the best scene of this movie, Jennifer Lawrence, well, while she's at the spy school, which is more like a sex school because that's the only thing they learn how to do there, pun intended. In the scene, Jennifer Lawrence's character, she gets naked, and in a power move, she humiliates another student who previously tried to rape her by commenting on his performance in front of an entire class. And if the entire movie had the tone and cleverness of that one scene, it would have been a great movie, but yeah.
Red Sparrow tries really hard to be an engaging mystery thriller, but by the time the credits roll, the only mystery is where all the thrills were. The twists and turns, they all happen so fast that the audience isn't really given time to comprehend what is happening.
Joel Edgerton, who seems to be in everything these days, he plays Dominika's target, the CIA. He's immediately onto her being a Sparrow, but you don't know if that's because he figured her out or if that's part of Dominika's plan. So he naturally does what any CIA agent would do in a situation. He has sex with her. It's like my life story on the big screen.
There was not a lick of humor in this entire gosh darn thing. The only thing that was funny to me probably wasn't even meant to be funny, or I don't think it was anyway. Someone gets a surprise hit by a truck, and let's face it, you can't film a surprise hit by a truck that's not going to be flippin' funny. I mean, think about all the other times it's happened.
Your hairy just happened.
It just can't be taken seriously, ever.
I usually enjoy spy movies, I do. But this movie didn't have all of the other things that I usually enjoyed about spy movies. There was no gadgets, no world-ending villainous plots, no exciting car chases through exotic locales, and there was none of that.
When I saw the trailer, I was thinking I was going to see a female James Bond movie. Not the cheesy Roger Moore James Bond, the new, hardcore, naked, strapped to a chair getting tortured James Bond. I mean, people did get naked, and people did get tortured, but that's the only similarities here. There was like no action in this movie at all. The first 30 minutes of this film was Dominika as a ballerina, boring. The next 30 minutes was Dominika in Sparrow School, boring. And the last 90 minutes was a bunch of spies standing around talking about spy stuff without actually doing any spy stuff.
This film left me with so many questions left unanswered. Why does Dominika's uncle think that she'd be a good spy? There is nothing in her backstory that says that she would be a good spy. Nothing at all. Why do they send the Sparrows to school when they only really teach them about sex? I mean, wouldn't you think there's more important things to being a spy? I don't know, combat lessons? Foreign language lessons? Why does anybody on either side believe a word that Dominika says? Why?
The suspenseful spy sequences weren't original and all, and I never was really fully invested in any of the characters. They were also stereotypical, especially the Russians. But I was able to overlook those flaws, which is what you have to do with a movie like this. I mean, it's shiny on the surface, but if you dig too deep, you may not enjoy it, so just don't dig too deep, you'll be okay. Perhaps Red Sparrow's target audience, the young adults, will be able to look over the many flaws of this movie for the gratuitous sex and violence. For me, 1 out of 10. Don't take this movie too seriously. Go in expecting those spy stereotypes, the over-the-top sex and the violence, and you'll be okay. You might enjoy this movie. 7 out of 10.
There was sex, and there was violence, but it was torture violence, not action violence, so 3 out of 10.
Like I said, I usually do enjoy spy movies, but this movie left me without the spy elements that I like to watch. So 4 out of 10. But with Jennifer Lawrence having so much sex throughout this film, well, that bumps it up to a 7 out of 10.
I gotta give this movie here a 1 out of 10. There was not a single thing funny about this movie, except for that one part with the truck.
We here at Who's Review give Red Sparrow the overall rating of The Sexy Games. This is going to appeal to the young adult audience this movie was targeted for. It lacks the sophistication of the modern spy genres like The Americans or Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and it also has nowhere near as much fun as James Bond movies and Mission Impossible movies usually have to reach a more broad audience. That's our review. What do you think? Have you seen the movie? Do you have your own? Let us know in the comment section and we'll check it out and respond. If you want to see all of the other reviews coming out in the future as we kind of pump out 1 to 3 a week, well, you're gonna have to subscribe to our YouTube channel, so make sure you do that. If you are those who like to know what movies are coming out and being reviewed before we actually review them, well, go ahead and like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram to do that. We thank you for taking some time here on our channel to check out these reviews, and we hope to see you next time here at Who's Review. The Sexy Games. Should be a movie. It probably is a movie. I'm sure it's a porn. I'm sure that's a porn adaptation. I don't even have to look. I'm positive it is.